Hello friends, Jeff Wilson here. Also Forrest, my kitten, just running around. He loves it in here. We have turf in the garage. All right, random thoughts of Jeff Wilson today. I just did a video on really working on calves with this incline board, which we're going to quickly reference again today or for this video. But I'm just going to take you through a handful of things that I do every day to, one, just stay healthy running. Right now I'm running very well. Staying very healthy, but I have my aches and pains, things that are consistent. I have 30-something thousand miles. I don't know if you saw that in the video over there. I think you can. Hey, Forrest. 30-some odd thousand miles on my belt. A lot of learning. Been to many specialists in my life. All the things. So here are a few exercises that I have done over the years to, dear sweet Jesus. Here's just a few exercises, not an exhaustive list of things that I do every day. So number one, if you happen to watch the last video, kudos to you. But an incline board or something with my toes elevated. See here at the end of the squat rack, this is pretty key. And at some point, usually after a run, I wouldn't suggest, outside of maybe very specific scenarios, doing this before running. But if you did, then I'd want you to activate right after that. But one of the things I do every day is this. I do a little dance, shake the booty, get it out there, stick it out, let it shout, you know how I say. And I just, usually towards the end of the day or again, like after the run, I'll try to get it to let some blood flow, release. Sometimes I'll get my heels off the side so that I actually get a little deeper into it. And like I referenced a moment ago, another thing I do, I don't run every day, but this is something I do at the very least before every run. I do not forget it. It's been like a year and a half of doing this, and it has helped immensely. You lean forward, get some tension in the calf like you're stretching, and then you push 8, 10, 12 seconds, both straight knee, bent knee. You can play around, get your hamstrings involved. I think everybody should do something like that because lower legs are very underrated and really healthy. Or it's something that you want to be healthy for your longevity, not just as a runner, but definitely as an athlete. Make sure you have explosiveness in your body. I wasn't sure what I was going to say there. Anyway, another thing I like to do is whether I'm doing this on a counter, like standing up, like I'm tall enough to where I can get my leg on the counter, or sitting down, I do a little figure 4 stretch. And let's see if you can see it from the side here. And I'll lean forward, maybe twist the body. Today I'm pretty tight. I had a pretty good workout, indoor track workout. And I'll just try to explore and get a little release in the hips as well as the low back. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of an extension to get the lats, which brings me to my next point. I will do some form of a hang. I do work at a gym, and I do have this in my home, so you may not have that access, but I'll do something to this extent. I also have a chiropractic door thing that I take on and off my door. It's a little string, and I'll adjust my neck at the very end of the night. But I do some form of a hang every day, as well as, not saying this is something you need to do, but I'll do a little bit of a twisting, whether it's like so to crack the back, or it's one of these thread the needles exercises. Usually I'll do that if I'm really tight. If you get a lot of rib cage tightness, mid-back tightness, oftentimes rotation is a big reason, or lack of rotation is a big reason why you're getting that. Especially runners doing this all the time, you kind of get a little bit locked, and we're oftentimes a little bit too tense. Which brings me to my next point. I'm not the greatest at doing this regularly, and I'm definitely not great at doing meditation. That is something that a lot of my mentors, counselor, what have you, have been telling me to do, and I just I would not say that is something I am good at doing. Hello, Forrest. Welcome to the conversation. But I will say deep breathing is something I've really tried to bring into my day. And I try to do it at different points, stoplights, when I feel stressed, at night, trying to settle down. I'll literally try to inhale. Now that was like an exaggerated, like open mouth one. You really want to try to inflate your rib cage. Something you might learn in like a yoga class is something I used to teach in my Pilates classes. Like almost try to literally imagine your lungs are expanding your rib cage. There are muscles in between these bones, and you want to be working those pretty regularly, not just running. Another one I like to do, I'm going to use this bench for a good view. I normally just do this on the ground, on my bed at night, but I will do a back extension. Oh, dear sweet Jesus. Right now I am way too tight in this area, so I will definitely be doing this again later. And I'll play around with a tall spine, tucking the chin, and then playing around with trying to move. Sometimes I'll like move my arms and try to extend so I get really low, almost even into the hip flexors. But it'll definitely get that psoas muscle, which is often a bugger, especially for runners. And one of the other things I'll do, especially if I don't do the incline board of what I showed in the beginning, but I will do this kind of marching hamstring movement. Or if you can't get that far, you can grab here and just try to like start with a tall spine, but you don't have to be perfect. You know, the last like probably 15 years of the industry have focused way too much on like everything's got to be like perfect posture all the time. Like it's not bad to be able to flex at your spine. And so I think especially with a little bend in the knees, like I'm suggesting you do, I think this can be a really good dynamic and static way of opening up some of the muscles of the low back, elongating your spine, getting your lats, your shoulders, your hamstrings, your ankles, your calves. Especially if you can get this far, you can pull down the calves, play around with the angles of your hips. And then you could go like that figure 4 stretch. You could do variations of this right after, maybe even add some twists. And like I said earlier, this isn't an exhaustive list, but these are things I really do pretty regularly. I mean, there's something that just popped in my head. I usually get a pretty tight chest. I'll do something like this, which is not to be confused with the hanging exercise I said earlier. I'll do something where I'm opening up this muscle, because I'm doing this a lot, and I'm on my computer a decent amount. I'm looking down at people at the gym. If you're sitting at a desk a lot, that's where this figure 4 stretch, the hamstring stretch, even the calves do matter, and then something posturally to open up, especially you guys get tight in the lats quite a bit. So there you go. Those are my main dailies. Give them a shot. If you have any questions, please let me know. And if you have not liked, comment, or subscribed, please do so. Love you. Have a great day.